Hello everyone, Minky here with the first part of Let's ASP Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. In this case, we are doing an ASP unit run of the game. Now, if you don't know what an ASP run is, or an ASP unit run, I'll link down below, sort of like a file, if you will, like a description of it, what it is basically on DeviantArt. But basically, the gist of an ASP run is that it's like a 100% run with extra steps. So basically, in the case of an ASP boss run, you've got to collect all the stuff before the next boss, or in their dungeon. In the case of an ASP unit run, in this case, you've got to collect all the Pokemon you possibly can before you collect the next unit, before you can start using the next unit. In this case, it's the HMs, or at least most of the HMs anyway. And we do start off with a no units whatsoever kind of thing, and there is times when you do start off with the first unit instead. But right now we're in the sort of like the no units portion, if you will. And then ASP area runs, they're kind of self-explanatory. It's basically the next like major area kind of thing. So in this case, obviously we're doing ASP unit run in this case, so therefore it's based on the HMs that we can get. Not all the HMs are necessary for like as a unit, if you will. So like Fly isn't a unit, Flash, that's not a unit because it doesn't block you from anything, if you will. There might be one obscure location that you get blocked from if you don't have Fly or Flash or whatever, but that's like, I don't know, that's a bit funky of a set, if you will, so I don't know if that really can, and that's not even in this game, to be fair. Or at least I don't think it is, anyway, so, But either way, this is an ASP unit run. I don't know the order of the units, but I know, I'm pretty sure the first one is Rock Smash. So we've got to collect everything we possibly can without using any of these HMs and whatnot. To see what we can collect without using any of the HMs other than Fly and Flash or whatever. That's kind of the idea here, if you will. So, in case you want to get like the gist of it. But that's the gist of it though, so therefore let's now get ourselves started with the adventure. Yes, English. Jeez, it is so slow. Hopefully I can change the options really soon. Hello there, it's so nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Hopefully it comes out good. It does look like it's recording the screen properly, if you will, so hopefully it comes out good. Because I haven't got a capture card. I forgot to say that in Sword when I started that one, Sword and Shield one, but yeah, I don't have a capture card. It's not really high on my priority list at the minute, so even though I've got these LPs coming out, but it's something. We'll figure it out one day maybe. And for now, it's like as long as you can see the screen, I'm not. Plus, like I get like being professional and whatnot with the capture card, but like for me, like a part of it is like I like to hold the nostalgia of it, if you will. As well of like camera recorded LPs and whatnot. That's what most of my content was. But to be fair, that was probably because of my situation at the time, really, for the most part. But now, now I'm kind of in a better spot. But I'm also sort of alone, so I don't really have anyone outright here, if you will, to directly help, I guess. But it's just more like nowadays. It's just like I'm now free, if you will, I guess. Alright. If that makes sense, anyway. Alright, now let's go with what I call myself in the Sword and Shield ACP run. Well, let's almost go with that. Because over there, I called myself Minky ACP U. Well, no. Here, I call myself ACP U. In that one, I call myself ASP B, which stands for Boss or Unit. So, I'll probably do the same in Thingamajig, in Shield and Shining Pearl, but for now, let's go with this. Now here's the rival. Now I remember the first time I played this, the first time I played Pokemon Diamond, I think, all the way back in 2007, I did actually call him Barry. So that's kind of cool, I think. Yeah, let's just go with Barry, because in Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can't decide on your rival's name, so I figured let's just go with the normal one here. Let's just go with the normal name here, if you will, because it's like, there's no... I've not really got anyone to call him by. I mean, I guess I could call him Minky ASPB to kind of say, like, we're facing off against ourselves, if you will, but... Nah. Stick with this. Stick with normality, I guess. Despite the exploration team's best efforts, the rare, oddly coloured Pokemon eluded detection. The rumoured Red Gyarados failed to appear, even fleetingly, to the crestfallen team. So, exploration team, wow, that's quite the game, if you will. I need to do that sometime, you know, hint hint, wink wink. The rumoured Red Gyarados failed to appear, so okay, so what's this about? Is this, I mean, I'm sure this is about the Lake of Rage. I think most people are drawing that conclusion. Possibly not, because there could be other Red Gyarados elsewhere as well. And, like, it's also saying, like, exploration team, like, it's painting them in a positive light, or at least a neutral light. This can't be Team Rocket, can it? Because, like, otherwise they would have probably said Team Rocket. But I guess it is a different sort of area of the world, so I don't know, man. But yeah, there's the Red Gyarados stuff. That concludes our special report, Search for the Red Gyarados, brought to you by Jubilife TV on Nationwide Net. See you next time. Same bad time, same bad place. Alright, let's speed that up. I do not like. Yeah, that's good. I'll create the background, the thingamajigs, the whatever it's called in a bit, I guess. I mean this change window. Yeah, I'll create this in a bit. Yeah, and yeah, we'll deal with that later. Because I forgot to do it in Sword, so you know, I figured I might as well do that when we get round to part 2, I guess. Minky ACPU. But I'm imagining saying that every single time he wants to talk to someone. But he came calling for you a little while ago. Like, imagine, like, just giving you someone, like, a really long or weird name. Like, not even to be nice about it, to, like, have, like, a cool name, if you will, or anything, just to be, you know, like, geez, man, like, why is your name such an inconvenience? You know? That's what it's like. That's what this name is. It's Minky SPU. Oh, that's such an inconvenient name, such a weird name. But I mean, for me, though, in this case, it's like to label the game file, the save file. So, I'm finding you 1 million Pokequid. Jeez, I don't think it's out. To be fair, how much is a Pokédollar or a Pokequid worth? How much is that worth in real life, if you will? You know. Also, why did you close your door? I'm right here. I don't know, man. Better take my bag and guidebook too. $10 million Vineland, what about you? You shouldn't about all the place, man. Slam the door in my face. Jeez. Yeah, another thing as well, like, I guess I could say, like, the trailer. Like, the trailer was released back in March of this year. March 20th, so it's not even 3 months ago now by the time I'm recording this. Which, actually, this is a really nice time to be recording, actually. But, like, I forgot my watch. I've put it down. Well, mysterious appearance of the Furious Pokémon in a lake. Okay, that kind of shines some more light on it being the Lake of Rage, the Heart Gold Soul Silver kind of thing. Which that's another thing I guess I'll talk about in a bit, but like, another thing is, Oh, dang it, I lost my train of thought. I'll put it in the call out if I need to. But yeah, Lake of Rage, that's actually kind of interesting, because it's like... Because like, obviously, like, when this game first released, you know, back in 2007, you know, Diamond and Pearl, it's like, oh hey, it's the Lake of Rage, Shiny Gyarados kind of thing. And people were talking about like a possible, you know, Gold and Silver remake, because obviously we'd had Leaf Green and Fire Red, we hadn't got any other remakes at the time. And then we got this game, and it's like, oh, hey, Red Gyarados stuff, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, you know, it's like that kind of thing. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. And you know what, I should have saved. I just realised I don't even know if he still picks Chimchar, actually, to be honest. He probably does, actually, now I think about it, yeah. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, what was I saying? So like, and then we got Hog and Soul Silver in Generation 4, right? They're Generation 4 games. You know, and it was really weird because like I remember they released Platinum before Hog and Soul Silver, and I was like, why? Give us Hog and Soul Silver, then Platinum, and that way, when we go back to play Platinum, it'll be something of a new game, if you will, to us. I mean, not a new game, but you know what I mean? It'll be more fresh for us, if you will. Because I remember in Generation 3, they released Ruby and Sapphire, ignoring all the other like side games, right? They released Ruby and Sapphire, then Leaf Green and Fire Red, then Emerald. So Emerald felt kind of new to it, like kind of fresh, if you will, even though it was like essentially a Ruby and Sapphire remake. Same would go to Platinum for Gen 4 and Yellow and Crystal for their gens, you know. But in Generation 4, they released Platinum straight after Diamond and Pearl, you know, aside from other side games, if you will. But in this case, it's like, I don't know, what was I saying? It was like, I don't know, it's something, it's like a lot, if you will, you know, back then, it's like, I don't know, I don't even know what my point is, really, to be honest, but, like, we had you know, all that back then, and then, you know, Hog and Soul Silver, obviously, that was really cool. But then Hog and Soul Silver, you'd probably compare Hog and Soul Silver in terms of the timeline as to being with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, not Diamond and Pearl themselves. But then how would you connect those games to all the other games, if you will? You know, and that's a whole other thing for me, really, is the timeline of events with the Pokemon series. It's like, how does everything connect together, if you will? Like, you know, how does Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, especially now since we have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus, how does Gen 4 Diamond and Pearl connect to Hot Gold and Soul Silver, if at all? You know? And I do have my own theories on that, my own ideas, if you will, and I'll probably get into that at some point. Not a theory, it's more like a headcanon, I guess, because it's like, you know, it's more like a headcanon, because I just feel like it's, like, quite the stretch. You know, but, like, that's quite something, I guess. But yeah, here I chose Turtwig. I'm pretty sure Barry chooses Chimchar, you know, the one good against yours. But, and I love as well, by the way, that their briefcase, Dawn's briefcase and Professor Rowan's briefcase, I love how that deleted the grass from that spot specifically. Like, it's so weird. But yeah, there's a whole timeline of stuff going on, and it's like, I have to wonder, like, Hasty, I guess it's something. But like, oh, what was it? It was like, okay, Gold and Silver probably take place, you know, Pokemon Gold and Silver and probably Crystal take place at probably the same time and same dates and whatever, right? But I kind of disagree with that. I feel like I had to disagree with that a little bit, because remember, in Gold, Ho-Oh is a lower level than Lugia, but in Silver, Lugia's a lower level, but in Crystal, they're both the same level. And so it's like, I feel like there's got to be some discrepancy between the three games, you know, and how does that connect to everything else, if you will, as a whole? you know, especially since that's like version exclusives as well, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, and then even with Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, with those 3 games, I feel like, cause Diamond and Pearl, I'm pretty sure play out exactly the same as this, as it's playing out now, basically, for the most part, anyway. But Pokemon Platinum, though, I think I remember you getting your starter down here instead, and they're not angry with you or anything, you know, or whatever. They're not like so flamboyant about it or whatever, if you will, or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like it's like a different timeline altogether. You know, it's so weird. It really is just so odd. It is really quite the odd game, I would say. Quite the odd series of events as well, because especially when you look at Ruby and Sapphire, it's like, how are you going to look at that and think like they're the same timeline, if you will? Because like obviously in one case, Team Magma takes over, and in the other case, you take Groudon, and in the other case, Team Aqua takes over to try and get Kyogre. You know, and then in Emerald, both of them take over to wake up the Pokemon, and it's like, what? And I feel like, as well, Emerald takes place later on. Because Emerald, remember, Emerald has the Battle Frontier, whereas Ruby and Sapphire only had the Battle Tower. And then All Rise is a whole nother story, in that case. You know? Like, there's just so much to really look at in this case, and it's like, I don't know, man, it's quite the adventure. It really is quite the adventure, if you will. You know, and I love looking deep into it, if you will. I mean, it's not like anything massively important, if you will, but I mean, it's something that I'd love to just look into at some point. But also, another thing now that I remember to mention it is, so like, on this game, the reason why it's kind of taken me so long to do this, almost 3 months to even record part 1 of these 3 Let's Plays, because I just got done recording Sword earlier today, like, not even that long before I started recording this one, is because I was on a previous version of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Serious Speed, are you serious? So yeah, there is that. You know, I'm pretty sure most people can tell what that probably means, if you will. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Spelt wrong. And but yeah, it's you know, it's a whole thing as well. That must have been a loud bloody thud. Jeez. He's not scary so much as he's totally out there. What are you trying to say, like he's goofy or something? He's highly animated. I don't know, man. Yeah, Barry's a speedrunner. Can't say I blame him, to be honest. He will still ask you if you want to nickname your Turtwig, even if you turn nicknames off. But I think that's because this is scripted, rather than like a normal sort of encounter, if you will. Also, like, Dawn has like Piplup in this LP. Which that's kind of a bit interesting, but I have to wonder, does she evolve it all the way, or at least to the point of entering it in your decks? But like, as well, how much, like, that does matter in terms of, I mean, it kind of matters. I mean, actually, now I think about it, I feel like I remember trainers in this game having the starters as well, like, random trainers as well. So, I don't know, man. This is what I wish to ask of you. I want to entrust you with this Pokédex. Will you use it to record data on all the Pokémon in Sinnoh for me? Yes. That is the... I mean, you have to say yes anyway, but that's kind of the point of the ASAP, and is to fill out the decks as much as possible without using, well, not without using TMs or anything, or units in this case, but see how far you can get with without using each one. Minky, I asked you to go everywhere and meet every kind of Pokemon in this region. I've lived for 60 long years, even now I get to thrill when I'm with a Pokemon. Now you should know that there are countless Pokemon in this world. Yeah, 493 of them at the time. That means there are just as many thrills waiting for you out there. Now go. Your grand adventure begins right now. Yet I already started with Sword, but... oh well. Yeah, she creates Piplup, that's cool. Not that it matters, but I mean it kind of does. It's going to help me fill up my decks a little bit, but, Also, I think we just got the decks right now, right? But if we look at it... right? So we've got Turtwig. We don't have Chimchar or Piplup in there. We don't have Piplup, even though we saw them in the bag. And we don't have Chimchar, even though Barry used Chimchar. Like, it wasn't a double battle, sure, but we still saw him use it. And you saw it as well, we have Starly in there as well. Even though we didn't have the Pokédex when we saw Starly. Which is so weird now that I think about it, because it's like you've got like a ghost Pokédex following you, if you will. Kind of thing, if you will. It's like, it's right there, doing dex entries for you, even though you shouldn't be able to get dex entries yet. Like, yeah, the Turtwig, that makes sense, because we started with Turtwig, we've got Turtwig with us. Yeah, but not the Starly, Not the Starly, or if at least you're going to count the Starly, surely Chimchar, Piplup, and... well, yeah, surely all three starters should be there, if only two of them being seen. I don't know, man, it's very weird. Before I forget, let's go down here and get this item. An antidote. Just now remember to pick it up, And yeah, there's another area that we've got to go to as well for when we get surf and whatnot. So yeah, that's going to be something. Alright, now I don't know if we want to go back home. Actually, you know what, I'm not going to... actually, no, yeah, I think we've got to go home first. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. This is such a Route 1 theme. Alright, is this... I can't even remember where we lived, to be honest. Yeah, here we go. No? Okay, so we've got to go learn about Pokemon catching. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh yeah, guidebook. I've got a bunch of guidebooks now. Add into the collection. Yeah, bet. Not a chance. I'm not going to be coming here too often, to be fair. I mean, maybe I will a little bit, but... yeah, he's basically giving us town maps. Well, we're not giving us town maps, she's giving us a parcel filled with 2 town maps. And then we wouldn't even get it until we get to Barry. Which is a little unfortunate, but well, it's whatever. It is what it is. You're forgetting something important, and then she kicks us out anyway. Off you go. Oh yeah, man. Alright, so let's go back and learn how to catch Pokemon again. Because we totally need to do that. Like, oh, you know how to play Pokemon? Learn how to do it even more. We've got to drill this into your heads. It's not important or anything. It's like, come on, let me just skip it, man. Let me just skip these cutscenes. You know, not this one, not the battling. I mean, specifically the, what's it called? The tutorial. Let me skip that. I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm not saying, like, delete it. You know, keep it in for trainers, for people who need it. Because sometimes as well, you might even, like, I don't get why people don't get this, but, like, sometimes people, like, take a while to get back into a game, you know? So, like, imagine, like, deciding one day, like a person might just decide they're not playing Pokemon anymore for a while, you know, and they just don't have time to play it anymore or whatever. And so they take forever to get back into Pokemon, and then, like, 30 years later, they forget what Pokemon is, so they start playing again. They're going to have no idea, probably, on how to play. So, therefore, they're going to need a tutorial, you know? In which case, yeah, give them the tutorial. You know, I mean, obviously you can look it up as well, but, you know what I mean? You give them a tutorial so that they can learn how to play during the game, if you will. You know? So, even if you're a newcomer, even if you're an old timer, even if you've been playing for a long time, you might have a long break. In which case, you're going to need a tutorial. But if you've been playing long enough and you haven't had time to forget this kind of stuff, like me, like, I don't need to see this. I don't need to be reminded on how to catch Pokemon. I know how to do it, and I remember. You know, it's fresh in my head. You know, in that case, it's like, why do you need to tell me? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, I don't know, man. It's really weird. It's really odd how people are just, I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Alright. I'm going to go heal, and then I think I'm going to end it there, because I do need to think about recording Lessons Arceus as well tonight, so I'll do that. And then, you know, I'll make sure to, like, you know, but we'll see as we get there. So yeah, I'm going to record Lessons Arceus in a minute. I'm not done with this, but in the meantime, Route 202, basically Route 2, if you will. Alright, well, on that note, we are here. We're at the end of this first part. So, yeah, I don't think there's really much else I can really mention in a minute, unless I do call-outs, so obviously I'll make sure to bring those up if need be. But in the meantime, I'm going to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really minky day.